Hey guys, doing? It's January 13th, 2020. Hoping you're having a wonderful day, a blessed day indeed. Wanted to let you guys know a little bit more about the situation between the U.S. and Iran, because we know it's not over, okay? I said the day after that it is not over, after that speech that Trump gave where he was flanked by military members, high-ranking generals and admirals, and his national security team, different members of his cabinet, where he came out and the first words he said were, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Okay, I said that it's not over. I know the mainstream media is going to shy away from it. All right, I know that people, the common man, is going to forget. We live in a 24-hour news cycle. We'll go on to other things. Right now, it's going to be the election, the impeachment, how the Democrats are falling out left and right, and who's going to be their candidate. Okay, everyone's going to forget about Iran until it's too late. All right. So, what's been going on with Iran? We knew Iran shot down that Ukrainian Boeing Airliner, and for 3 days, they consistently stated that they did not shoot it down, that it was mechanical failure, that it was engine failure. All right. Well, on the fourth day, they had a big announcement for everybody. They came out and stated, hey, through human error and because of U.S. adventurism, we accidentally shot down this Ukrainian Boeing airliner. And a lot of people were shocked. A lot of people were shocked that Iran came out and admitted to this. A lot of people thought that Iran was not going to admit this. And they're not the first. Let's be fair. Let's try to be fair. They're not the first country that has done this. Russia did it a few years ago. The U.S. did it to Iran back in 1988. This is not the first time it's happened. It will not be the last time it happens. Okay? Well, their admission, their big announcement, coming clean to the world, but also putting a spin on it of, hey, it's America's fault also, has kind of backfired. All right. Iran is currently on fire with protests. They're on the third day of protest. It seems like the population of Iran is not very happy with them admitting fault / them shooting down this airliner. Okay. And we've talked about this before. There's a big difference between the IRGC and the Iranian government. Okay. The IRGC, in many times, is not strictly controlled by the Ayatollah, by President Rouhani. All right? So these protests, the IRGC, they are trying to quash these. And what happens when Iran quashes protests? Well, they kill thousands. That's what happens. Okay? Well, President Donald Trump has taken to Twitter, as he normally does with big situations like this, and through several tweets, he has sort of drawn a new red line, or a lot of people are looking at it that way. He has stated that Iran will not have another massacre on its hands, to let the protests go through peacefully, that the Iranian people want change, that the U.S. is standing with the Iranian people. And he's mentioned multiple times in different tweets that he will not allow an Iranian massacre to take place. He will not allow these protesters to be killed like past protesters have been. Okay? So a lot of people are looking at this and they're like, okay, well, is this another red line? Is Trump willing to take military action against the regime of Iran to protect protesters? My personal thought, and what my thought has been for a long while now, is that Trump, the only red line that Trump really cares about is American lives. Okay? Once American blood is dropped, then he decides to respond. Okay? And while I don't think the Iran and U.S. situation is dying down, I don't think it's over, I think for it to flare up in a major fashion, there has to be an American life lost or American wounded. Okay? This is very critical. It's very serious. Some people will tell you otherwise. This is just my personal opinion. Okay? You can have yours. I have mine. Wow, look at that. We're getting along just like adults. So that's where we currently are at. We've also got news that the Iranian-backed proxy groups in Iraq have told the Iraqi government, hey, forcibly expel the U.S. forces or we will start our military campaign against them. That's another thing that could potentially start a war between Iran and the U.S. if the Iranian-backed proxies in Iraq decide, hey, we don't want these U.S. servicemen and women here anymore. They launch major attacks and we have a loss of life in the armed forces. At that point, it's known now that Trump, Pompeo, the Trump administration, the generals, the admirals now believe that any action by the Iranian proxies is an action by Iran itself, okay? So if there is loss of life or a major attack against U.S. forces by Iranian proxies in Iraq, we may see military action. That's another example of where we could see a war flare up between the U.S. and Iran, okay? That's basically all I have at this present moment. If more information comes out, I'll let you guys know. We'll discuss it, all right? Grab a beer, say a few prayers, and as always, keep your eyes to the skies. Amen.